Hello, my name is Avery Horton, and today I'm going to be talking about the teacher evaluation system in New Mexico. In this presentation, I will be presenting and discussing my findings on whether or not the current teacher evaluation system at APS is successful. I will be doing this by first giving background information, by showing my research, discussing my research, and then suggesting improvements if necessary. To analyze the teacher evaluations and their effectiveness, I conducted both primary and secondary research. My primary research included 2 interviews, one with a principal at Truman Middle School named Michelle Torres, and another with a child care director at Child Care Castle named Hazel Darnell. Both of these people had extensive knowledge on the new system and opinions on how it has affected them and their teachers. I was able to get a lot of information about the system based on the 2 interviews, which I then used to help guide my secondary research. For my secondary research, I used both academic journals, which included studies and educated opinions on the topic, and I used the web to help find other items, such as graphs and data. In this report, there are some limitations when it comes to the research that was conducted. The 2 interviews that took place had a bias in them. The opinions of these 2 people were presented in a way that only showed one side of the situation. Both of the people are in the education system and are leaders within their field. Their 2 opinions do not reflect the students, parents, school governing officials, and political leaders. Although these interviews were based on opinion, they do accurately reflect the knowledge of 2 people who know the system and are involved in it. There was also a small population that was interviewed, which means that there could be more opinions out there that aren't being expressed. Possible further steps to improve the claims made would be to conduct a survey with a larger population. The teacher evaluations consist of the new Teachscape and New Mexico Teach programs that have come into play through both you and the governor. It has been implemented over the past couple of years in New Mexico schools, mainly APS. The teacher evaluations were created in response to Obama's Race to the Top program, which gives out federal money from the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act towards those states who comply with this new program. Some of the efforts that this program includes are tying teacher and principal evaluations to test scores and using the Common Core state standards. Through the implementation of these new evaluations, they were supposed to close the gap that different schools around the nation were facing. For example, it would allow children to move around the country and be at the same place academically as their new schools. It would also allow teachers to be accountable for the information that they teach. They would be able to teach at an equal level with other teachers and know what to teach based off of the Common Core standards. The teachers are kept accountable through 5 domains, which they are graded on the scores of the standardized tests of their students, multiple observations, and multiple submissions, including teacher preparation. They would also be observed through both walkthrough and formal observations several times throughout the school year by their superiors. This can be seen in Figure 2. Through my research, I was able to find several studies that were conducted over the past decade. I wanted to show these studies as a way to show success stories involving teacher evaluation systems and what it takes for it to be strong. These studies have looked at the best methods to assess teachers in their education systems. The first study took place during the 2003-2004 school year. Teachers were evaluated based on observational methods and graded on management, instruction, content, and planning. The overall study showed that a well-structured evaluation system is expensive, but the outcome of improved teacher effectiveness may outweigh the cost. The second study took place using a survey of 86 teachers. The results were that teachers want principals to provide extensive and productive feedback of their evaluations. They also want their leaders to know what is expected of them, and they want them to be familiar with the content that they are evaluating teachers on. Both of these studies include much more extensive research, and they needed to be analyzed further, and they need to be taken into consideration to further improve the system. There are many positive aspects that come out of the new system. The first is that children who move out of the state are able to relate to the information that their new school is teaching, because the information that is being taught is relatively the same. The Common Core also help teachers prepare lessons as they know what they need to teach and what they will be graded on. It also helps teachers be accountable for the information that they are teaching, and it ensures that teachers don't slide by. Figure 3 helps show that New Mexico, along with most of the other states, have adopted the Common Core state standards, which means that the curriculum that the students learn is all uniform. Through my research, I have determined that there are also negative aspects of the system. As previously stated, there are 5 domains that teachers are graded on. Unfortunately, 50% of their grade is based on one domain, which is the students' test scores. This is one way that shows the school that the teacher is teaching their students. However, many students either don't test well or don't care, which doesn't reflect the teacher's knowledge. It is also something that teachers cannot control, no matter how well they teach, at least in certain situations. Other students might be poor test takers, which doesn't reflect what the teacher is teaching either. Also, because the standardized tests are made up of only the Common Core subjects, the curriculum that is taught is narrowed and there is less time for teachers to spend teaching other subjects, such as art, foreign language, and physical education. It limits the diversity of learning and masks the creativity that both teachers and students can have when they have the classroom to thrive. Because of this, it worries the teachers. Teachers are very stressed out that in the future their wages could be determined by these tests, which makes them even more against the system. Not only that, but if all of the students do poorly on their standardized tests, the teacher's job could be in jeopardy. By being against the system, they are less likely to succeed in the program by having a negative attitude towards it. The old system of assessing teachers was a pass-fail grade. Teachers who have been in the field for a long time are used to it. When the new system came in, they were against the change. Not only that, but there was a lack of training and skills that both teachers and administrators got. Through this, teachers were lost, they didn't know how to get good scores, and were angry at the new system. Since the rollout of the system was poor, it creates problems. Michelle Torres, a middle school teacher principal, said that there hasn't been enough training for teachers, administration, and district leaders. Many believe that the new system of education throughout New Mexico will end up harming students more than helping them. There is also many other issues that has been brought up, including evidence binders taking away from the time teachers have to prepare lessons, and teachers becoming jealous of others because of their scores, which can break down trust. The figure to the right shows the percentage of what teachers are graded on in their assessments. The system of assessing teachers in New Mexico has become a big problem, as teachers are lost. They don't understand how to assess and are oftentimes fearful of the program because they have had a lack of training. By creating a better rollout of the system for the assessment of this program, teachers and administrators will be better prepared for the change. If they are better prepared, there is less to fear and overall teachers will do better. Also, by incorporating many aspects of the studies talked about in this report, it can help further the program. Some of these include making sure principals know the material that teachers are being graded on, and for principals to have extensive time to go over their teachers' scores with them. As stated, many teachers are worried about their evaluation scores because it is highly influenced by the student's performance. If the grading system wasn't as heavily graded as standardized test scores, then teachers would be able to have more time teaching other subjects, and they would feel less pressure overall. Therefore, I suggest longer and a better rollout of the new system and distributing the teacher percentages more evenly. In conclusion, the New Mexico education system has drastically changed in the past couple of years. The goal of this program was to help create a well-rounded and standardized federal learning system. However, the way that New Mexico has implemented this new assessment system has become a problem. The system was not rolled out correctly, and the assessment program worries teachers because of how they are graded. Although there are benefits to the system, the intentions of the evaluation system were not met in an effective way. And because of this, there needs to be some sort of change to ensure that the system thrives. These are the sources that I used, and the number that is with them corresponds to the information and the graphics in my presentation. Thank you for listening.